Picture this. You feel that familiar tickle deep inside your nose, and you just know a big sneeze is on its way, but you're somewhere quiet, so in a split second you make a fateful choice. You pinch your nose, clamp your mouth, and trap it. It feels harmless, even polite. But that one tiny decision can set off a surprising chain reaction inside your head. To understand why holding it in is risky, we first need to understand what a sneeze actually is and how much raw power is behind it. A sneeze is one of your body's oldest defense reflexes. It begins the moment an unwelcome irritant lands inside your nose. It could be a speck of dust, a grain of pepper, a cloud of pollen, or for some people, even a sudden burst of bright sunlight. Inside your nose are incredibly sensitive nerve endings. The instant they touch something foreign, they sound the alarm. That alarm races along your nerves, straight up to your brainstem, the ancient control center that runs your automatic survival reflexes. Your brain makes an instant decision with no input from you. This intruder has to be ejected, and it has to happen right now. So it fires off a powerful, perfectly coordinated, full-body launch sequence, and it all happens in under a second. First, you take a sharp, deep breath in. Your chest and stomach muscles tense up hard, squeezing your lungs like a coiled spring. Pressure builds behind your closed throat until it reaches a breaking point. Then your throat snaps open and the air explodes outward. And this is where it gets wild. That blast of air rockets out of your body and well over 100 miles per hour. Some studies have clocked the fastest sneezes even higher than that. It is genuinely one of the most explosive things your body does. That hurricane force burst can fling thousands of tiny droplets several feet, sometimes clear across an entire room, and each one of those microscopic droplets can carry thousands of germs, all hunting for a warm new body to infect. So a sneeze is not random or pointless. It is your body's built-in power wash, violently blasting invaders out before they can dig in. Now here is the big question we came for. What actually happens to all that explosive force when you refuse to let it out? You pinch your nostrils completely shut and clamp your lips together. The exit is sealed, but the launch sequence has already fired. Suddenly, a blast of air moving at 100 miles an hour has absolutely nowhere to escape. And that energy has to go somewhere. The pressure does not just quietly disappear. With the front door locked, it slams backward, deep into your own head, eyes, and chest. Its first target is your ears. Behind your nose sit two narrow passages, called the eustachian tubes, leading straight to your middle ear. When the pressure spikes with nowhere else to go, it surges up those tubes and pushes hard against your eardrums from the inside. Your eardrum is an astonishingly thin membrane, sealing off a tiny pocket of air. It is built for gentle sound waves, not a pressure bomb. A sudden, violent spike stretches that fragile membrane far past its comfort zone, pulling it tighter and tighter. And in rare but very real cases, the eardrum gives way in tears, leaving a small hole punched right through it. The result is instant, sharp pain, a loud ringing that won't quit, and hearing that suddenly sounds muffled, like you're underwater. Your ears are not the only fragile target. That same backward pressure pushes outward on your eyes from deep behind them. The whites of your eyes are laced with tiny, delicate blood vessels, and a sharp pressure spike can make them burst. You could glance in the mirror and find a startling, bright red bloodshot eye staring back. It looks dramatic, but usually heals on its own. And to bust a classic myth right now, no, your eyeballs cannot actually pop out of your head from a sneeze. That simply does not happen. Now for the genuinely alarming one. To see how serious this can get, we need to talk about what can happen to your throat. There is a documented medical case of a healthy young man who pinched his nose and clamped his mouth to stop a powerful sneeze. The trapped pressure had nowhere to go, so it tore a hole straight through the soft tissue at the back of his throat. He was rushed to the hospital, where he could barely swallow and could hardly speak above a whisper for several days. Air had actually leaked out and gotten trapped in the soft tissue of his neck. Doctors call this rare injury a pharyngeal rupture. The pressure climbs higher still, pushing into your sinuses, the hollow air-filled chambers tucked behind your cheeks and forehead. As the pressure presses on that delicate bone and tissue, some people are hit with a sudden, sharp, stabbing headache. In extraordinarily rare cases, the spike of pressure can reach all the way to the fragile blood vessels inside your brain. In theory, an already weakened vessel could give way under that strain. To be clear, this is exceptionally rare, but it is not impossible. And the raw mechanical force does not stop there. In a handful of unlucky cases, a violently suppressed sneeze has even cracked a rib. Okay, deep breath. I know that entire list sounds absolutely terrifying, like your own sneeze is secretly trying to take you out. So here is the genuinely reassuring part, and it really matters. Every single one of those injuries is rare. Most are downright freak events. For the overwhelming majority of people, holding in the occasional sneeze does absolutely nothing harmful at all. Your body shrugs it off. Your body is remarkably tough and well built. A single trapped sneeze is very unlikely to seriously hurt a healthy person. Now, sneezing is buried under more old myths than almost any other reflex. So before we wrap up, let's quickly bust the biggest ones. Myth number 1, and the most famous of them all. People say that your heart actually stops beating every single time you sneeze. The truth is, your heart does not stop at all. Its rhythm just shifts for a split second as the pressure changes, then carries right on beating. Myth number 2, that it is completely impossible to keep your eyes open while you sneeze. It is true that your eyes slam shut automatically, but it is just a reflex, not a hard law of nature, and a determined few really can force them open. So why do your eyelids snap shut in the first place? It turns out to be one more protective reflex, bundled right in with the main sneeze command. Your body is shielding your eyes from the storm of germs and droplets that go flying out at the exact same moment. It is genuinely clever design. Okay, myths busted. Now here are some genuinely fun facts you can pull out the next time someone standing near you lets out a big sneeze. First, the official scientific name for a sneeze is sternutation. Drop that word at a party and watch the confused looks roll in. Second, you almost never sneeze while you are fast asleep. The nerves that fire the whole reflex basically switch off during deep sleep. Third, bright sunlight makes roughly 1 in 3 people sneeze on the spot. It is a harmless genetic quirk called the photic sneeze reflex. Fourth, ever sneeze 2, 3, or even 4 times in a rapid-fire row. That just means a single blast was not quite enough to clear the irritant. Now for a true record breaker that is honestly hard to even imagine. One British girl once held the record for the longest sneezing fit in history. She sneezed almost every single minute for an astonishing 978 days before the fit finally, mercifully stopped. And humans are far from the only ones who do it. Cats, dogs, and even giant pandas all sneeze to blast irritants out of their noses. Some take it even further. African wild dogs have actually been seen sneezing as a kind of group vote on whether or not it is time to go hunting. Here is one last cultural mystery to chew on. Have you ever stopped to wonder why people instinctively say bless you whenever you sneeze? Centuries ago, some people genuinely believed that a powerful sneeze could briefly let your very soul escape out of your body. And during the deadly plagues of history, a sudden sneeze was feared as one of the very first warning signs of a terrible spreading illness. So saying bless you started out as a tiny spoken charm, a quick little wish of good luck and health for the person who just sneezed. Here is a genuinely strange one. Some people reliably sneeze right after eating a big, heavy meal, even when nothing is in their nose. Doctors actually have a name for it, snatiation. And to this day, nobody fully understands why a stretched stomach sets it off. Other people sneeze during exercise, when stepping into cold air, or believe it or not, while plucking their eyebrows. Your nose is simply packed with ultra-sensitive triggers, all sitting on a hair trigger, and waiting for any excuse to fire. People also constantly mix up a sneeze with a cough, but the two are actually doing very different jobs. A cough is built to clear your lower airways, your throat, and your chest of irritants and mucus. A sneeze, by contrast, is laser-focused on blasting your nose and upper airway completely clear in an instant. A sneeze is also far faster and more explosive than a cough, which is exactly why holding one in is the riskier move. On average, a perfectly healthy person sneezes around 4 times every single day, often without even noticing it. Add that up, and it comes to well over 1,000 individual sneezes every single year of your life. And every one of those is your body silently running the exact same lightning-fast defense drill, over and over. From that first faint tickle to the final explosive blast, the whole sequence takes only a couple of seconds. It is genuinely one of the fastest, most automatic, and most powerful things your entire body ever does. And almost all of it happens completely automatically, without ever once asking you for permission. But out of every single one of these facts, here is the one that actually matters for you, today, right now. Every amazing thing a sneeze does only works because it is actually allowed to escape. Bottle it up, and you turn a helpful reflex into a real gamble. But this is the real takeaway. Even if the odds are low, why gamble with your ears, your eyes, and your throat at all? Remember what the sneeze is actually for. It exists to protect you, working as a fast, powerful security guard for your airways. It flushes out dust, germs, and irritants before they can travel deeper into your lungs and make you sick. Blocking it defeats the whole point. So the next time that tickle arrives, please do not fight it. Let the sneeze out, and let your body do the job it was designed for. If you're worried about spraying germs everywhere, there's a simple trick. Just aim into the crook of your elbow, never your bare hand. That traps the droplets and stops the spread, all without bottling up a single bit of that dangerous internal pressure. Your eardrums, your eyes, your throat, and everyone standing near you will all quietly thank you for it. So go ahead and sneeze freely, loudly, and proudly. Your body has been perfecting this explosive little reflex for millions of years. And if the hidden quirk of your own body just genuinely surprised you today, trust me, there is a whole lot more where that came from.